Hello everybody, it's Lana, and today I have a custom creation to show you guys. This is a rear load garbage truck with a working rear lifter slash compactor. This is modeled after the color scheme on the 2016 front load garbage truck LEGO has been selling currently in stores underneath the Great Vehicles sub-theme in City. So let's go ahead and let's take a quick look at the truck, and then let's see the compactor in action. The cab is kind of American, like a cab over, but American style. Really, just with a very low, very far forward front weight cab. Don't know exactly what manufacturer that would be based off of, but so that is. Got some engine detailing in the center, a shovel and a broom. Just some basic detailing in there. There's some random greebling on the motor block. On this side, I have a custom built. That's a custom built smokestack right there, which is it's a fairly simple design, but adds a nice look and just. It's a little bit shorter than the normal LEGO ones, so it just works out better in my opinion. This axle is droppable right here. You can see I'm able to lift it up and down. That's a new design I'm trying. It sometimes doesn't contact the ground, as I'm assuming you're noticing it's not rolling, but that's okay. Of course, the color scheme is, as I said, the 2016 front load garbage truck, and I do have some older little recycle logos, which is okay. It works, and of course I got this guy precariously balanced on the back. I really don't like how that worked out. I feel like that guy is gonna fall in the compactor. He's like, no, but it at least works. Eventually I will figure out a way to connect him on, have him something like he can hang on to stand. But for now, I mean, there's that. So he can go run off and not get compacted, because that would be very gruesome and horrific and not very appropriate for this kind of channel. This does have a working loading platform for garbage cans, LEGO's current design. You just bring in a garbage can like you saw earlier and just connect it on, and this solves the problem with don't have to clip these onto the handle, which kind of makes these feel like these are going to break. But then this also solves the 2012 garbage truck. There's a little drive wheel that comes off every once in a while, so this solves that problem. You just dump your trash in there, and for the compactor to work you have to make sure you line it up right. Of course you probably want to actually see the compactor now, so take the garbage can back out of the picture, and I'm just going to I can bring this down. It really doesn't have to be this way. There's actually a cheater piece underneath there. You can see that slides on the ground. You can hear it. I think you can probably hear that. I don't know if you can or not on the mic, but that is because there's two rubber bands, and those rubber bands have a lot of pressure on the back. But if I recenter the truck, we can run the compactor again. See if it works a little bit better than in the beginning. The compactor works very well, but sometimes LEGO elements don't work as well. But that worked very well. It depends on, especially if you overload it, and I think I might have done that in the beginning. It will, depending on how well it'll work. You got some different lights back here, your tail lights, markers, a couple scene lights for at night, a light bar, which is a lot more aggressive than the one at the front. Now you probably want to see some more of the compactor now, so let's take a look at some more of the compactor. Alright, so to show you some more of the compactor, I'm actually going to dump this quickly, and this works very simply. You just take this like so, and dump the garbage out. Kind of look at it, around the clear stuff. Let me clear this stuff off the turntable now. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. None of it went on the floor. I'm happy now. Okay, just a second. Okay, so I'm gonna actually remove this whole rear section off its clips. There we go. We can just drag the truck out of the way. That looks weird. So the compactor is actually very interesting. You're seeing some more of the interior mechanism. It's very simple though. So on the side here, you can kind of see some more. There's a simple slide track, and then of course there's this flap you can see in there. That's what's back here. This is actually what's grabbing in that bottom bin. It's kind of circular, and I know it's kind of dark in there. Sorry, I got my lights on. I'm just not getting there very well. So that's what kind of is there. But one thing to solve is if I bring this down, if I don't angle that up, you notice how a gap opens on the top. Originally I didn't have this right here, and so sometimes pieces, when you get it really full, start going on top, and it would prevent the thing from going all the way back up. So I made this shield. This was the solution I figured out, and this just rotates up when you push it down. You had to manually rotate it, but it does work. Everything kind of has a rubber band kind of style of drive. So this part, for example, automatically always stays inward, like so. You can see because of this rubber band on the side, and the whole compactor always stays up. I'm not doing anything. It's staying up because of these rubber bands. These yellow ones are not LEGO. The black one I think is eventually LEGO ones. I think I can probably eventually see if I can get some that are LEGO. I just don't really have that many. I don't think I actually have any at all that would fit that. So I have my quota. So I use third-party ones for now, which I'm okay with. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, I can even pull the compactor out, the whole Technic part, and see that even in more detail. Okay, so here's the compactor. Pull the top off of there, and this is the whole design. So again, there's the bottom flap. This part slides up. You can see it's a very simple design. You can really, if anyone wanted to copy that, that's not that hard. Really, that's a length 7 axle. It's a length 8 axle, and really you could vary some of the design. But this is what I found that worked very well. I tried designs. It took me about 5 hours to build this truck, which normally mock this small. I'd probably take 2 maybe, but this mechanism took so much time to develop. And I went through like 4 different backs too, because I realized that's not round in there. That's just using some different slopes of different types, and also a design that's starting to come apart, I think. Yeah, a little bit. And so I realized, oh, I don't need to use round parts. So I was trying different round pieces that LEGO has, and some have gaps and prevent weird building challenges. Other ones that don't have gaps just really prevented an interesting challenge. So I kind of had to I decided to go with that. So let me get this back together, and we'll run some compaction. Alright, for this next portion, I'm going to run 2 tests. One, using beads like these. These are about 1 brick in diameter, so they're very similar to Lego geometry. They work very well. I've used these garbage before a lot, and so I'm going to use these as a test, since I don't have enough Lego elements to do it with. Or I could have masked some, but they'd be really weird, and I don't think they work very well. And then I'll use some paper here, and that'll show how good it can work, and it actually will compact more than technically if I just loaded it up. I can still load more into it. So it actually compacts like an actual compactor. Not very good, doesn't do very much, but it does a little bit. One last test though before I do this. I'm going to do a calibration chest test to show you how well calibrated the thing is. This is a length 3mm 1/8 inch bar. Of course, like bluish gray, but you didn't really need to know that. Its color doesn't really affect. We're not racist on we're not colorist on garbage, I guess. So yeah, so let's put that in there, and I don't know if you can actually see that. Can you see that? And I'll bring this forward. Alright. Oh, and my turntable's falling. Gone. Boom. Yeah. Okay, now we can bring this back up. Yep. That is very well calibrated. I was very surprised that actually worked. But now let's perform the test, and I'll time lapse that so you don't have to have real time, because that'd be pretty boring. We'll start with the beads and we'll go to the paper. Alright, well that's convenient. My rubber band snapped on me on this side. The other one I think still okay. Yeah, it still is okay. So I need to replace that, and we'll continue the test. Oh yeah, one thing, I have already tested this. This will max out. This door will start to lift open. The compactor will force it open. So when it gets close, I'll show that. So that way it's full, I know. Alright, so let me replace the rubber band, and we'll be back online. I guess I may as well show, if you're wondering how I held the rubber bands in. I just used these 1x1 round plates, and they have that edge, and the rubber band, if I get around it, stays on it really nice, and then clear geometry, and it gets locked away underneath this plate and behind the bars and stuff. So that's what happened. And what's weird is there's no sign of there's like no sign of cracks or brittling. So I get this feels like a very fresh rubber band, but for some odd reason it snapped. So we're gonna replace it. Alright, so I decided to speed the process up a bit and just put some beads on the inside in there and just kind of fill it up. Because it surely shouldn't matter exactly if it's full. It'll still compact in the same way. Alright, that should speed things up a bit. Alright, now you see how that's starting to gap open. You can see a little bit kind of actually in there. That's what happens. Compactor does work that well. Alright, so same process, except for this time with the paper. Alright, so I can definitely tell you this thing's full, because you can see it's wanting to go up a little bit more. Not very much. That lever should be pointing up about that. So let's go ahead, and I trust the paper not to roll everywhere, so we'll go and actually do a live undumping, if you will. I should say it is dumping, so we'll hold this up nice and dump a full load, technically trash. And And oh yeah, it's very well compacted. You can see I have to. And let's also see if I can get this kind of unloaded. Just a second, sorry. It's just kind of stuff packed up in here too. Yeah. Normally it unloads better, but then again, normally I also use stuff like, you know, I do use paper, but at the same time I don't. Okay, let's check. Yeah, feels clean. Oh yeah, and I also just forgot to mention the weak spot in the frame. Alright, well, I think that's everything. Hoping that's all the track paper in it. Okay, let me actually pull that out of the frame maybe. Yeah, okay. That's a decent sized pile of paper, so I'm happy with it. Well, I thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned because more videos like this are on the way very soon. Bye for now.